Hi, welcome to this lesson. So we're going to look at the basics of regular expressions in this particular lesson, okay? So you can use this particular website, regex101, regex101.com. Okay, you can use this website to test a lot of regular expressions. So regular expressions are common across all programming languages, okay? So the kind of regular expression you create, that is the patterns that you're going to be using, they are the same across all the languages. So the way we will be executing those regular expressions, on the other hand, that will be different for each programming language. But the pattern as such, it's the same for every language. So we're going to be looking at some of the patterns, okay? So let's look at some of the normal instances of them, how they work and things like that in this particular website. So later on I'll be teaching you all of the patterns in JavaScript, but you can come to this website anytime and you can check if a pattern works or not right here without having to write any line of code at all. So this is an easy way of doing everything, okay? It's an easy way of checking your regular expression before you turn it into JavaScript code, okay? So let's first look at how to use this website and how the basic form of regular expressions work, and after that we can look at creating the same in JavaScript, and finally we can move on with advanced regular expressions and JavaScript specific regular expression functions and a lot of ES6 and ES 2018 and ES 2017 updates for regular expressions and so on and so forth, okay? Then we can end the course with a bunch of exercises and projects and real world big projects where you create where you'll be creating a form, a contact form and things like that, okay? That is a contact form, and we'll actually be creating all the code for validating the contact form to make sure the information entered is as we want it to be, okay? And also in the next lesson you can find a PDF of all the notes for this course, all right? So you can download it in the next lesson and you can use that to follow along with this course. So please take a look at that. So this is the website, regex101.com, all right? And here, once you come here, look for the language you want your regular expression to work in, okay? So we are going to be selecting JavaScript in here, okay? So JavaScript. If you notice here, if it's PHP, there's this colon in here. For Python, it has the colon R and everything like that. And for Golang, it's a single quote. But for JavaScript, it's the front slashes. Okay, your regular expression will be written within the front slashes. So as I told you before, the pattern is the same, but how you execute it is different. Execute it is different in every language. Okay, so that's why it's better if you select the particular language that you want to work on, and in this case it's going to be JavaScript. Alright, and if you come here, there are a bunch of flags. These are regex options that we'll be looking at later on, but I'm going to be removing all of those options because to start with I'm gonna just create a simple regex expression, okay? So how this works is you can put your test string in here and your regular expression in here and select your language in here, and the output would come here. An explanation of your regex will be automatically generated as you type, okay? So that's good. So if you type something in here, the explanation, okay, will be specified, and the match information, that is whether the regular expression matches with the string given, that information would be displayed in here, okay? So let's first give the string. This is my JavaScript regex, okay? So that's going to be the first string, all right? And so regular expressions are basically used for matching strings, okay? You can, at their base, they're just used for string matching. So let's say we want to find if the word JavaScript is in our given string, okay? So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to give JavaScript in here, and that's it, and come here for the match information, and you'll see that there is a match. See, there is a match, and it says 11 to 21. 11 to 21 means JavaScript, that word 101 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, from 0, every position has to start from 0, you know that, right? So it's in the 11th position of that particular string. JavaScript starts from the 11th position of the string and it ends at the 21st position of the string. Okay, so that's the information you're getting, and there is a match. Okay, all right. So what if there's a different kind of expression in here, not just one JavaScript? What if the string has multiple JavaScripts in it? Okay, so am I gonna get a match? Nope, I'm still getting only one match. Now that's because if you just use the regular expression as such, it's only going to match the first instant of that particular expression or pattern. So it parsed through the string and it came to an end at JavaScript right here, the first JavaScript, and that's it. That it's not gonna move past that. Okay, it's not gonna look at the other JavaScripts because by default it's only going to look at the first instance of that particular pattern. But if we wanted to look at multiple instances, okay, if we want to search for all the JavaScripts in this particular string, you have to use a flag. Okay, now I'll be talking about flags in more detail in the future modules, but to start with, you can use the flags to, let's say, customize your search, and in this case we are going to use it to find every instance of that particular pattern. Okay, not just one instance of the pattern, but every instance. Okay, so if you want to match every instance of a pattern, then you have to use the global string. Okay, so it won't return after the first match, so it'll keep looking until the end of the string. Okay, so once I give the global flag, which is specified as G, as you can see there's a front slash and then there's your pattern and then it ends with another front slash, and after that you have to give your flag, okay, the G, okay, flag, the global flag, and it'll match every instance of that particular pattern in your given string. So see, 11 to 21 from places 11 to 21, after that it's from 29 to 39, after that 40 to 50, and finally 51 to 61. So it's matched everything, right? So if you want to find the word JavaScript in the string, and if we want to match it against all of the occurrences of that particular word, then we have to use the global flag to do that. Okay, we just saw how to do that. Let's look at another example. Okay, let's change this capital J to small j and this capital J to small j as well. Now let's see what happens here. See, it's come down from 4 matches to 2 matches and it's only showing this and this. Now why is that? Well, it's pretty simple actually. Our matches are case sensitive by default, so capital J is not the same as small j, so the JavaScript that has the capital J, it will not be matched with the JavaScript word that starts with a small letter j. So, but what if we wanted to match irrespective of capitals and small letters? So what if we want to make it case insensitive? Okay, so in order to do that, you have to use another flag, that is the insensitive flag, case insensitive match. So you can make your particular match case insensitive. See, look at that. Now it'll only look for the word as such, only look for JavaScript as such, and it'll search throughout the string because we've given the global flag, so it'll search throughout the string. And since we've made it case insensitive, it's going to look at every instance of JavaScript irrespective of capitals or small letters, and it's going to give all the matches. Simple, right? So now there's another final flag in here called the multi-line flag, which is actually depicted by M. Okay, see the M flag, but we're not going to be looking at that particular flag right now because it's better if I explain that in JavaScript when we actually type in the code and everything. It'll be easier to understand that way. Okay, so let's get to it later. I just want to show you regex 101 and how it works and things like that. So I hope you understood how this works. You can play with this any way you want. You can, even if I give Java, it's still going to match because it's not just word match, it's string match, right? So even if it's just part of a word or part of a string or just one word, it's still going to match. Okay, if I give just A in here, all the A's in your string are going to be given in the match information. They're going to come out as matches. Okay, so you can play with this particular app, and you can test everything, and you can do whatever you want. So later on, once I start going into different kinds of patterns and deeper into regular expressions, you can come here and test them out as well. Okay, so it's always a cool little app to have handy when you're working with regular expressions in pretty much any language. Okay, so to summarize, regular expressions at their basics are used to match certain words or strings in a longer string. Okay, so it could also match letters or numbers or any character at all, like we just saw. It just matched A, and if I give 1, there's no match at all because there's no number in our string. Alright, it doesn't have to be a complete word. It can be a set of characters or just one character as needed. It can also be special characters if that's what you want. So if there's an at in here and if there's an at in our string, it'll still match that. Say 63 to 64th position. Now, but you might be wondering how we can use this in real world programming, right? In JavaScript and in real world examples and things like that. So we'll be moving on to JavaScript in the next lesson, so you can actually know how to work with it, because as it is right now, you're just you don't know how to use this in your programming, in your code, right? So we'll look at that in the next lesson. I'll see you there. Thank you.